Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're looking at one of the best preserved ancient dwellings in all of North America. If you've ever traveled through central Arizona, you might have heard of this magnificent cliff dwelling. It's known as Montezuma Castle. It's an absolute marvel of ancient engineering nestled right into a towering limestone cliff. But to truly understand its legacy, we've got to unravel a fascinating story of survival, ingenuity, and, honestly, a pretty massive historical misunderstanding. Which brings us to the core mystery right up front. What does an Aztec emperor have to do with Arizona? It's a completely fair question, right? Montezuma was, of course, the famous ruler of the mighty Aztec Empire, located thousands of miles to the south in what is now Mexico. So why on earth is one of Arizona's most iconic indigenous sites named after him? Okay, let's dive into this and get right to the punchline. The answer is absolutely nothing. Literally not a single thing. There is zero connection between the Aztec ruler and this remarkable cliff dwelling. The true story of who built this and why they built it is actually far more compelling than the myth. Section 1. A magnificent Arizona mystery. Section 2. The Montezuma misconception. And this brilliantly illustrates the chronological impossibility of the Aztec connection. The indigenous builders of this site constructed their awe-inspiring home between 1100 and 1425 CE. Now, follow the timeline forward. Montezuma II, the famous Aztec emperor, well, he wasn't even born until 1466. So the castle was already constructed, lived in, and part of a thriving culture centuries before Montezuma took his first breath. By the time those 1800s European-American explorers stumbled upon the site and mistakenly named it, assuming only the Aztecs could build something so grand, they were completely off the mark. As historians and archaeologists continued their work, they eventually uncovered the truth. They realized the error, but by then, the title had already woven itself into the fabric of local mapping and lore. It became a historically inaccurate name that just kind of stuck. It's remained in use ever since, serving as this quirky reminder of early American exploration errors. Section 3. Meet the Sinagua people. The name Sinagua actually translates to without water. This name, which is a direct reference to the dry environment they called home, perfectly encapsulates their defining characteristic, their incredible resilience. The Sinagua were a pre-Columbian culture that lived throughout central Arizona for hundreds of years. They didn't just survive in this harsh, arid environment. They absolutely thrived, adapting to a landscape that would challenge modern engineers and farmers today. So, how did they do it? Through masterful adaptation. Despite the challenging climate, they developed highly successful farming techniques, cultivating diverse crops like corn, beans, squash, and even cotton. They balanced this agricultural prowess by expertly hunting and gathering local resources. And they certainly weren't isolated either. The Sinacawaya established vast, complex trade networks, exchanging goods with neighboring cultures not just across the American Southwest, but stretching all the way down into Mexico. Section 4. Life in the cliff dwelling. The Sinaga constructed this dwelling about 90 feet above the floor of Beaver Creek. Now, building 90 feet up a sheer cliff wasn't done just for the view. This elevated location provided essential, life-saving protection from severe seasonal flooding in the creek below, harsh extreme weather, and potential threats from rival groups. It was essentially a prehistoric high-rise fortress. And inside that prehistoric high-rise, well, this massive 5-story structure contains approximately 20 individual rooms. It wasn't just a temporary outpost. It was a permanent, bustling community designed to house several families all at once. Just imagine the coordination and community effort required to haul materials up those cliffs, to mix mortar, and lay stones perfectly to create 20 rooms of elevated living space. So the crucial point is this perfect balance they struck: protection above and fertile farmland below. The Sinagua engineered a lifestyle where they could retreat to the absolute safety of their cliffside fortress at night or during extreme weather, while still maintaining incredibly easy access to the vital water of Beaver Creek and their rich, fertile farming plots right at the base of the canyon. Section 5. Protecting the castle. Let's walk through these critical preservation milestones. In 1906, President Theodore Roosevelt took decisive action, protecting the site under the newly created Antiquities Act. In fact, Montezuma Castle was one of the very first 4 national monuments established in the entire United States. This designation was vital to stop the looting that was really plaguing ancient sites at the time. Later, as tourism rapidly grew, another hard choice had to be made. By 1951, inside access was officially closed to the public to preserve the incredibly fragile structure from the wear and tear of thousands of footsteps. Because of these protections, visiting today is a truly magical experience. Imagine walking along a short, paved trail beneath a canopy of towering ancient sycamore trees. You can hear the gentle rustle of the leaves and the flow of Beaver Creek nearby. You stop, gaze up from the safe, interpretive trail below, and there it is. This magnificent ruin perfectly framed within the bright white limestone recess. It's a breathtaking window right into Arizona's past. Section 6. The Verde Valley Legacy. Let's move to the wider region and see how this builds a complete picture. The Verde Valley is packed with complementary destinations that tell a much broader story. You've got Montezuma Well, a fascinating limestone sinkhole fed by natural springs. Then there's Tuzigoat National Monument, another beautifully preserved Sinagoa settlement over near Clarkdale. And of course, you can pair this history with the famous red rock scenery of Sedona or visit Jerome, a historic mining town perched precariously on Cleopatra Hill. Ultimately, why does this explainer matter? Because Montezuma Castle is far more than just an impressive ancient building. It represents centuries of innovation, adaptation, and community building. It gives us a profound understanding of how ancient indigenous cultures didn't just survive, but thrived in the challenging, unforgiving environment of the American Southwest. It is a powerful, enduring reminder of our deep and diverse human history. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder. The Sinagua built a home so sturdy, so perfectly adapted to its environment, that it still leaves us in absolute awe over 900 years later. It begs the question, what modern structures will stand as a testament to our ingenuity 900 years from now? Thank you so much for joining me. Keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.